you were to take a look at the Night City neon landscape, it's easy to see that Cyberpunk 2077 has come a long way since its release in December of 2020. All sorts of bug fixes, DLC, and we've also had the expansion of Phantom Liberty, which has introduced a lot of cut content and features that we found early on in the game. However, there is one thing we've spoken about at length, and that is the metro system of Night City, which is featured in the trailers for the game and also the expansion, but we never got it until last month. CD Projekt Red finally released the metro system, and with a few caveats, I would say that it's everything we'd ever wanted. So cue the montage, and let's get to it.
Stand clear of the doors.
So before we actually get into the Metro car itself and have a discussion about that, I want to talk about the stations themselves and how they've evolved over time. As you'd have seen in that spectacular montage, all the stations were just empty and bare, but they were at the side of the track, and they have been ever since the beta version or since the disc went gold. This, of course, is what sparked the speculation of whether or not the Metro system was actually coming to Night City or if it had been abandoned completely. However, what CD Projekt have done is pretty cool because they've actually populated these stations now with vending machines, people and ticket machines. There are a few exceptions in that some stations didn't actually exist at all and they've put them where they should be, but whenever you looked at these station locations on the map, they always had an accompanied fast travel point below them or somewhere close by. Unfortunately, one of the caveats in this is that you can't enter the station using an elevator or stairs. It is like Ryan said in a previous video, you just select fast travel or metro system and it will put you in the train and put you on your way. Now, I was able to get these shots using NoClip on PC, and I was able to use the metro system line on the older console version to make sure I got the before shots, because on that version the train doesn't come along as often as in the new version. So if you're trying to get to these stations on console on patch 2 and above, you'll be very lucky to do so because the train comes very regularly and knocks you off. However, if you're on PC, you can have a look around and see what the differences are. As well as utilising the space that they already had, CD Projekt Red have created some brand new metro stations and connected some brand new lines, including the Corporal Plaza district, and they've also connected a line from Pacifica to the Glen as well. And if you want to know where Memorial Park Station is, it's actually inside of Petrochem's building. So yeah, in my opinion, I think CD Projekt Red have done a great job here, but I also think they missed the trick again by not allowing us to enter these stations using stairs or elevators to get that full immersion of the travel system. It is fairly immersive whilst you're inside these places on PC because there's people talking and doing things, and it feels like it should be connected to the outside world, but the metro system itself is not actually part of the outside world. It's one big cutscene where you can move around. I did find it interesting that when we spoke about the NCART system PC mod way back when, that a lot of these stations that are populated look very similar to how they do now in the official patch. Now, the person that created the NCART system mod had a great eye for detail because on the wall of the NCART stations there was a countdown timer for every time a train should arrive, and every time that counter turned to 0, sure enough, a train would arrive. However, this official patch does not have that kind of attention to detail. However, what it does have is an actual official NCART tram, because the other one that was being used for the mod was actually the bus interior, and it was in fact a bus running along the track. How the NCART system works in this version of the patch is that in fact it's a big cutscene and you're able to move around in just a few locations of the tram. You can stand up and look out the door, you can sit down and look at the people and people watch, or you can turn and look out the window to see the beautiful vistas of Night City. The train comes accompanied with the obligatory announcement of the station stops, arrivals and to stand clear of the doors, which is pretty cool because it adds that immersion to the game. And depending on what tram line system you jump onto, the people will be dressed appropriately and you'll have different interactions and overhear different conversations with people on that tram. So pretty good attention to detail in that respect. Now, I think I speak for everyone here when I say that I would have liked to have been able to walk around freely on the train, but I know that there are limitations to this game, so I'll take what I've got. So all in all, a pretty good addition to Cyberpunk 2077, and I have to say it does feel pretty good being validated every once in a while. I'm not afraid to admit that I was taken a little bit by surprise and I thought all hope was lost in this regard, but I'm pretty happy about it. Now, this is Deconstructing the Game, of course, and it wouldn't be the channel it is without talking about the remaining cut content for the Metro. You're probably shaking your head and sighing, but it's true, there are still a couple of things missing from this Metro. Now, you're probably thinking, what is that? Because we've pretty much got everything, and there is still a couple of stations that didn't make the cut. No pun intended. There's one station right next to Alexandra Street which is pretty big in size and has been there for a long time, and there is also another station just outside the Delamain HQ which has been here since the very beginning of the game, and I noticed it because the large floating M in the sky which has been there since day one. Now, what's interesting about this station, or lack of station, is that it's a dual line and it goes on for quite a long time, so it makes me wonder if this was supposed to be quite a large station next to Orbital Air, might have included some kind of mission. Possibly back then they were thinking of potentially having you able to walk around the tram system and do missions, but that of course is speculation. We have the tram system, I'm happy about it, and I'll leave you with that. Now, there are a couple of other locations in Night City you could argue were meant to be metro stations, but these are industrial areas, so they're probably just meant to be for aesthetic purposes only and nothing more. I appreciate it's been a few months since I last did a video, and it's been even longer since I produced a Cyberpunk video, but that's because I've been super busy with other things and I've really not had a chance to play the game or keep up with what's going on in the development phases. But with CD Projekt Red focusing all their attention on The Witcher 4 and the Cyberpunk sequel, it's hard to say if I'll ever make another Cyberpunk video after this one, but you never know what the future might hold. If you guys want to see anything in particular, if you're still on console, or if you just want to look at something and let me discuss it with you, then let me know in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. I guess the only thing I have left to say is thank you every single person who's watched the videos, left comments and subscribed to the channel, because without you, this would have been all for nothing. It's been a great journey, I've learned a lot, I've loved everything I've done for Cyberpunk 2077, and if anyone from CD Projekt Red has been watching the videos, which I know you have, no hard feelings, but I really appreciate every one of you who have made this game what it is today, and hopefully Cyberpunk sequel will be just as good, if not 10 times better. My name's Mike, this is Deconstructing the Game, and as always, I'll catch you later.